Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Princia and I talk about all things anti-fiction. So today I'm going to be doing my media freakout tag, and if you're unfamiliar with what that is, the media freakout tag is basically a list of 13 questions you answer in the middle of the year, just so you can reflect back on your reading, just so you can actually like catch up with yourself and see how your reading has been going so far. So I'll have all the questions down in my description if you want to play along, if you just want to read through as I'm going through them. I'd really love to discuss how your reading is going, so please feel free to chat with me a little bit more. So without further ado, I have my laptop here with the questions. Let's get on to them. So question number one. Best book you've read so far this year. I think I'll definitely have to give that to Beartown by Frederick Backman. I read this book this year in January, and I've just cemented itself as my favorite book just in general. I have a whole review that I'll link up there and in my description down below, so if you want to hear more of my thoughts on it, you can go listen to it. But this book has most definitely cemented itself as like my favorite book ever, not just this year but like ever. So question number two, best sequel you've read so far this year. I'll give the best sequel of the year to Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch, the second book in the Gentleman Bastards sequence. This book was a brilliant continuation of the first book, which is also amazing, by the way. I have not yet done an extensive review of this book because I just finished it recently, so like 3 weeks ago I think, and I wanted to do a batch review where I reviewed this one and the third one together because I was just like reading them pretty close. So I'm going to be doing a review of this book and the other one in an extended format where I really, because I love these books so much and I really just want to talk about them for a really long time. So I'm going to be doing that in my next video. If it's not the Poppy War series, maybe this one. But I really loved this sequel. It was amazing. Plus it had pirates too. It was just everything. I'll have to give this the best sequel of the year so far. Okay, so question number three, new release you haven't read yet but want to. I'd have to give that one to My Friends by Frederick Backman. I think that would be my answer for this question because Frederick Backman has just set himself as like my favorite author of all time, and then I'm going to read anything he writes. So yeah, I really definitely want to read My Friends. It just came out very recently. I don't even think it's been a month yet. Maybe it has been. I'm not sure, but like the second I get my hands on that copy, I am definitely going to read that book. So I'm very excited to read My Friends by Frederick Backman. Question number four, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. So that would have to be Catabasis by R.F. Kuang, but it has to be that book because I've seen many people on TikTok hype the book up. I've seen people get new advanced copies. I am really excited to see what it's about. You know, I just read The Dragon Republic, and I love R.F. Kuang's writing. I love the themes she writes about. I'd have to say for my most anticipated release, I'd have to also hop on the Catabasis train. So question number five, biggest disappointment. I actually don't own that book physically, but I would have to give it to My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. I was really excited to read this book because I love the concept. It's a book about a couple who find they have something for serial killing. They have something for murder. It turns them on as a couple. That's what they need to keep their marriage alive, essentially. So I found that, you know, like an interesting concept. I wanted to explore like actually what that would do, like the impact that would have on their psychology as a family, as a couple. And I was in the mood for a thriller when I read the book. I was in the mood for a mystery, and then this book did not give me that. This book, I feel like it's mean to say this, but it read so cheap. Like it just didn't read very well. Like I didn't like it. The writing wasn't very good. It was so fast paced, but also giving me nothing. I expected to like it way more than I did because I really liked the concept of the book, but I really felt like it was so predictable. Like from when you hear the concept of the book, if you can already like think of an ending, like the first ending that comes to mind when you read that book, that's how the book ends. It's so predictable that it's not enjoyable at all. Like none of the plot lines are actually interesting, none of the characters are hooking, they just all feel so one-dimensional. I just felt like it was a book that just had a good concept but wasn't able to deliver on it like at all. So I was very disappointed in that book. I really expected to like it, and I gave it 2 stars. It was very bad. Question number 6, the biggest surprise. I actually don't know what I would give this, but I have the biggest surprise of the year. Okay, for this question I'm actually going to cheat just a little bit and give a book that I actually read in 2024, but at the very end of 2024, as we were actually, I think I read the last page in 2025, so technically it counts. Okay, the reason why I'm actually not giving an answer of the book I read in 2025 is because like every book I read in 2025, I kind of already had like a general like consensus of how I'd feel on the book, and there's no book I really was planning when reading that I thought I wouldn't like, and it surprised me and it actually shocked me. Not yet, but maybe in the upcoming last 6 months of the year, because like I have books that really don't like outside my comfort zone, so I'm not sure if I'm going to like them. But most of the books I read this year, like specifically, were all within my comfort zone, and I was like, I'm definitely going to like it, you know, and that's why I picked it up. So for the biggest surprise of the year, I'd have to say That's Not My Name by Megan Larry. I really like that book. It's also a thriller, so I think there is a trend going on. But the reason why it was my biggest surprise, I read it as a palate cleanser, and actually in contrast of the other book that I picked up thinking I was going to like it but I actually did end up liking, the That's Not My Wife. With this one, I picked it up thinking I don't think I'm going to like this book, and I actually ended up really liking it. And the reason why is because this book plays on the amnesia trope. So it's a book about a teenager who wakes up at the side of the road and she does not have any recollection of how she ended up there. She goes to the police station, her dad comes to pick her up, and then we go on from there. So with this book, I thought it was going to be pretty predictable. I thought I was going to see like where it's going. Like all the problems I had with My Lovely Wife, that's actually what I thought I was going to get with That's Not My Name. And it actually wasn't like that at all. I was so pleasantly surprised by this book. I was expecting the worst. It really wasn't the worst. I gave it I think a 3.5 because I read it when I needed just something fast-paced to get me out of my like reading slump, and I think I was reading it in between two big books. So I was also reading it as a palate cleanser, so I really wasn't expecting much from it, but it really delivered a lot, and I really liked that book. Question number 7, favorite new author. Wonder who that would be. Debut or new to you? Definitely would be Frederick Backman. He is not new to me. My first Frederick Backman book was A Man Called Ove. I'm still struggling with remembering the name. I do not know why. Was A Man Called Ove. I read that book back in 2022, either 2022 or 2023. And my second Frederick Backman book was Anxious People. And I think I knew he was my favorite author when I read Anxious People. I loved Anxious People. I loved Anxious People so much, and when I finished it, it just left me with a void, and I was like, I need more of his writing. I really liked A Man Called Ove, but it's like, you know, maybe it's a one-hit wonder. I read Anxious People and I was like, I really like this guy's writing. Like I really like his writing. And then I read Bear Town and I was like, yeah, he is most definitely my new favorite author. So maybe I lied. Maybe Bear Town is actually when he cemented himself as like my favorite author of all time. But yeah, it's either one, but definitely Frederick Backman. Question number 8, newest fictional crush. I don't think I connect to fictional characters in that regard. Maybe Sanji. Yeah, actually no, I'm lying. Sanji, definitely. But like when it comes to books, I don't think I connect to fictional characters in that way. But when it comes to anime, definitely will have to be Sanji. But he's not new. He's been that guy. He's been that guy since 2022. He's been my man. So I think I'll pass on this one. My answer will be Sanji. I don't know if he counts. Do you think he counts? I think he counts. So yeah, Sanji. Question number 9, newest favorite character. Now that's one a little bit harder because I have so many. I have so many from The Lives of Locke Lamora and Bear Town. But I would either have to give it to Benji. I think I'll have to give it to Benji. Either Benji or Maya from Bear Town. Definitely Benji. I connected to Benji's character so hard. Oh my goodness. I could write a whole essay on Benji alone. Actually, no. I said Benji or Maya. No, I think it's Ahmad. I think it has to be Ahmad. Yeah, it is Ahmad. I love Ahmad so much, and it's crazy that he's not the first name that came to mind, but I was trying to think back to all the characters in Baritan and how I connected to them each, like on a personal level, and I'll think the one who affected me the most definitely has to be Ahmad. His storyline from book 1 to book 3 is so beautiful. His character development is incredible. What he stands for as a character, his drive, his ambition, his motivation is so inspiring and so heart-striking. Like it's just so beautiful. I just love Ahmad as a character, and I want to protect him from everything. I love Ahmad so much, guys. I could write a whole essay on every single character in Baratown, but Ahmad, I could write him a song. I promise you, I could write him a song, a book, everything. I love Ahmad so much. So I think, yeah, he's my newest favorite character, definitely. Number 10, book that made you cry. Bear Town. Bear Town made me ugly cry. It made me sob for days. And then I read the second book, even worse. And then I read the third one. almost killed myself. So definitely has to be Baritone by Frederick Backman. I feel like I keep referencing that book a lot in these questions, but it's my favorite book of the year, so it's only fair. Question number 11, a book that made you happy. Definitely the book that made me the happiest this year has to be The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. This book, it's so charming. The characters in these books are so funny and hilarious and a joy to follow. Reading about these characters, I could spend the rest of my life with these characters and I wouldn't be bored. They're so funny and so entertaining to follow. They're a joy to follow. This book made me so happy just by being with the characters. Like, even if you remove the plot and just give me 120 pages of me just hanging out with these characters, I'd be so glad. I'd actually tell you, like, please do so. I love these characters with everything. So yeah, they were a joy to follow. I think that was the book that made me the happiest so far this year. Question number 12, the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. I think I'll have to give that one to, I can't find the book now. Yeah, on the book. So I have to give that to The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Like, I don't know, it's just something about this cover that's so beautiful. Like, the letters being the background, and then I don't know if you can feel it, but like the texture of this is just, it's so satisfying. It's so satisfying. And it being a notebook, I find this book cover so pretty. This has to be the prettiest book I have bought so far. It's just stunning. Like, the texture is amazing, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful book. Yeah, it has to be The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I don't think I even said that. The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Steven Chbosky. Yeah, definitely. Alright, so the last question, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Oh boy, I have a lot of books to read by the end of the year, but I have a whole list and TBR of books I want to get through by the end of the year. If I was to go through them, we would be here for a long while. But I do have my June TBR video. I'm going to be linking it up here and in the description down below, so you can see my plans for this month. And maybe I'll do a June wrap up, either that or another like catch up video where I tell you guys about, or maybe just like reviews where I tell you about like my recent readings. But I have a whole list of books I need to get through by the end of the year. But this year I'm planning on getting through my physical TBR so I can get more books comfortably, because I really want to build my personal library. I feel guilty doing that, you know, when I have books I haven't finished reading yet. So definitely the Mistborn series, Game of Thrones, Brit Marie Was Here by Frederick Backman, and Treasure Island for I think maybe in July. And I feel like if I actually like try to list all the books I want to read this year, it will be far too long and ambitious as well, so I'll just leave it there. Alright, so that was my media freakout tag. I want to see yours in the comment section down below. Tell me what your favorite book has been so far this year. And yeah, it's always fun to sit down here and chat and catch up. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you very soon, and it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. Please keep on liking, please keep on commenting and subscribing. I appreciate the support and love you all so much. See you.